Rank 4 Elsa Bloodstone makes short work of this month's Cav quest. How's it going, all? robvonshoe here. I've got my Elsa Bloodstone going up against the first 3 bosses from the February 2022 Cavalier monthly quest. Now, why is it only the first 3 instead of all 6? Well, because with 6 days left of the event, or whatever it is, I figured now is a good time to get started. So this is what I've got going so far for part 1. First boss here is the Hood. All 3 of these bosses, just forewarning, are going to be very simply and very straightforward. Hood here basically is increased power gain and unblockable nonsense on his special too, so the strategy here going into it, well, just bait out the special one and have a good time. He's unblockable for a lot of the fight, which really isn't an issue. The parry evade that Elsa gets is really handy because you can get around some of that unblockable nonsense. Throw a bunch of busted debuffs, which are multipliers for the incinerates that she winds up getting, and you're gonna wind up having a good time. Right now for this, I have Tigra with Force Synergy, and also a Misty Knight, which winds up increasing the duration of my damaging debuffs, which is pretty handy. Just like that, Hood goes down easy peasy. Next up is Miles, and Miles is super annoying because of his miss mechanic that he gets when he goes invisible. Now that's pretty annoying too because Elsa cannot shut that down with the cold snap, even though, you know, it's technicality, sure, whatever. But the benefit here is that Miles is a science champion and Miles is the final boss. So those two things together feed into Elsa's awakened ability, so I'm going to be doing a lot of extra damage that way as well. These are not going to be flawless fights. These are realistic fights, granted with the rank 4 champion, but realistic fights, just going in and just, you know, having a good time. So I do think I get clipped once with, there we go, yep, with the camo active, but with the debuffs on him, and again with the awakened ability, Miles goes down super quick as well. Which brings us then to the final boss, which is Rhino. Now Rhino being Rhino, he gets unstoppable, he gets unblockable. This one has spiked armor, which is the biggest opponent of all of these. Now my spiked armor is anytime Rhino gets critted, or I inflict a crit on Rhino, I guess you would say, is that I take a bit of chip damage myself. Now personally I think it's a good mechanic, but it's kind of dumb because that also applies to projectiles. So every time I fire off a special 1 or special 2, the bullets wind up, I guess, reflecting off of his armor, and I take chip damage anyway, so that's kind of dumb. But Rhino is science, final boss, and an XL champion, so that's 3 massive benefits that Elsa gets, and even with the unstoppable and that chip damage, it's an easy win. Alright, so I'll be back with part 2 later. Like the video, subscribe. I'm robvonshoe. We'll catch you guys next time.